Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm your host, Jeff Howard, and I've got Dylan James Amick with me on Zoom. Hey, Dylan.
Yo. Hey, guys.
All right. So we are on Zoom. I think I forgot to do this little disclaimer for Dylan's interview. This is Dylan answering the 4 questions, but we are on Zoom, which lowers the audio quality for both of us. So don't get mad at us. It's just, it's a Zoom kind of world now.
Yeah.
And we just talked about Dylan's film Clean Cut, which showed at the film festival Film Invasion Los Angeles in 2021 and took home Audience Award for Short Horror Film and won the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Short Film Horror. So it is a fantastic film. I love it. It's super enjoyable and well done. It's in the Discover Indie Film TV series, season 5. So if you want to check it out, go to Amazon Prime Video, any way you can get there, search for Discover Indie Film, and go to season 5, although I highly recommend watching all 5 seasons. And we just talked about Dylan's past. If you would listen to the podcast before this one, you'll learn all about Dylan's experiences coming up as a kid, getting into theater, and then transitioning over to film and ending up in Los Angeles. You're one of those rare indie filmmakers in Los Angeles, sir.
Yeah, I am, in a town where no one wants to talk about movies. Here I am trying to make it happen.
For sure. And in this episode, in this podcast, we are going to have Dylan answer the 4 questions, which are favorite films of all time, an underrated film, an overrated film, and a lesser known film that people should seek out. And I'm just going to let you take over now.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about my top 3. We had a little bit on the last one, but I'm always fascinated by that question. And ultimately, I just like to say what these 3 mean to me I think these are the 3 films that are the films that I viscerally remember watching. And then while the credits played, I was like, I want to make a movie like that. And so there are the movie I've seen the most in the world is The Dark Knight, which is a totally great popcorn movie. Just, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite film. I've seen it a lot, so.
No, for sure. And The Dark Knight is, I think it appears in people's favorites. One of the most frequently appearing in the favorites, and then a handful of people make it their overrated, which I think just shows. I think it's actually improves the bona fides of the film, right? When a film is divisive, it's not that people either love it or they're bored by it. They either love it or they get really mad about it.
Yeah, I think it's just a totally fun film, and ultimately, I think that's where underrated really happens a lot. Is people being I think it's fun. When we get to mine is the movie that people are going to be like, "What?" And I just think it's fun.
Fair enough.
Here we go. I'm going to start with the oldest movie I'm talking about is going to be number 3, The Thing, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, love it.
Incredible. Really recommend watching that version. Just from the first image to the last image, just makes you lean forward and say, what's happening? And it's...
and John Carpenter, if I can jump in, master filmmaker. A master, and a guy who, unlike a lot of the other masters, didn't really have massive budgets to play with.
No, and really, I think left out of that conversation when we talk about the important auteurs of our time. John Carpenter was making these incredible films time and time again, and the effects of The Thing, you turn it on right now, they're still great.
And the story, and he always understood story, and he understood the medium, and he often composed the scores. I love Carpenter, by the way. I was one of those people through high school and college and on anything John Carpenter I went to see. I went to see his movie, They Live.
Yeah.
When it came out in theaters in college, because every Tuesday night was $1 night at the local theater.
Yeah.
And then the next night, I dragged all my roommates to see it with me and paid full price to see it the next night because I just thought, man, you got to see this movie. It's amazing. John Carpenter knocks it out of the park again.
Yeah. My mom's favorite movie growing up was Escape from New York. So that was my first exposure, which is, go Kurt Russell. Guy still kicks ass. So yeah, that's number 3. And just there's so much good. I think it is just like ultimately such a great genre straddler of like the sci-fi horror thriller mystery. And it just does all of it very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 2 for me, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Yorgos Lanthimos, a more recent one. And ultimately, I think it's like important to like, I like talking about recent movies and talking about favorites. I think sometimes we're like, oh, anything in the past 5 years, you're not allowed to talk about it yet. It's too recent. And it's just like, no, like the movies you like and talk about them. Yorgos Lanthimos is my favorite filmmaker making films right now. I think they're all incredible. I think Killing of a Sacred Deer is just every frame, every decibel is beautiful. It's so well orchestrated. It's this like nightmare that you just keep wandering through. The performances are incredible. It is, again, a movie that the credits started rolling and I sat there and I was mad because I was like, how am I going to make this film when this guy's already made it? Like, it's so good. So
he's incredible, and I am incredibly ashamed because I haven't seen Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I love The Lobster, I love The Favorite, and I love every time I say I'm not blaming the beautiful woman I live with, but every time I say I want to watch this Killing of a Sacred Deer, like there's something else we watch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push it way up. I got to watch it this weekend. I'm tired. I'm tired of being, pumping my car with gas and worried that someone's going to mention this film to me, and I'm going to have to admit that I haven't seen. I understand. I programmed 2 film festivals, but I haven't seen Killing of a Sacred Deer. I can't explain myself.
No. People watch everything. I didn't see Eraserhead until I was like 29, and like literally I told someone that, and they're like, "What did you do in college?" Like it's when we're all supposed to watch Eraserhead.
That's valid, but I don't know.
We all get there whenever we get there. I love Killing of a Sacred Deer. If you haven't watched his other one, Dogtooth, which is the last one he did in Greek, it's incredible. Like, just talk about being stuck in a house. Masterpiece. That's great. And we talk about anything anymore. But my number 3, I debated doing something else. I think this is a good one to do. I talk about this a lot in our deep dive on the Q&A thing on the website. But Climax, Jasper Now, is just a film that I went into it blind. I saw the poster and I was like, that's pretty cool. Check us out. Didn't know anything about it, and just got lost in the screen. It's another stunning visual nightmare.
I've got to see it.
Yeah. So sorry to name 2 movies you haven't seen, but The Thing's also great. We can talk about that a whole bunch. Climax is just it's like a kind of movement-based horror. It was done with like, it's a cast of like 35. Only 2 of them are actors. The rest of them are dancers. Incredible dance sequences, and just a wonderfully strange film.
I am intrigued because the words are wonderfully strange are exactly what I want, exactly what I'm interested in.
I can't, if you happen to do that and enjoy Clean Cut on Amazon Prime, you'll see a lot of the same vibes visually. A lot of the color of that movie is what I pulled from in Clean Cut.
Oh, that's your inspiration. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, question number 2 is a film that you feel is underrated.
Underrated is first. I might cheat this answer a little bit.
Feel free.
I think underrated, and it's hard to say this because I don't know if she's underrated. For me, I think it is, and it's Julia Duchovny, and it's the French director who did Raw. She did Titan, and just when we talk about, I think like the great horror scene that's happening right now theatrically, like, it's insane to me. I'm not hearing her name just as much as Ari Aster or Robert Eggers, because both of her movies are just incredible examples of, human horror. And like, what is this? She does a lot of body horror and this idea of like becoming a monster. It's incredible work. It's so moving. It's just her movies. And every movie that I'm trying to talk about right now is just kind of like the movies that make you lean in a little bit and say like, what's going to happen next? And then you're still surprised somehow. Raw's incredible. Titan's incredible. Go ahead. Sorry.
And are you just making both? Or are you just saying her?
Yeah, I think kind of her catalog ultimately, and she's only done the 2 films right now. She did another short called Junior, I believe, which is also very, very good. I would love to see her talked about more. And it's hard to be like, Titan won the Palme d'Or. So is it really underrated? Well,
but the thing is, the only people I know who've seen it are filmmakers.
Yeah. And it's a thing that I think it's stuck in a label of like, this is highbrow horror. And like, no, like people would just love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a good one. So Raw and
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a hoity-toity prick because I'm just gonna pronounce it Titan, right? Because it's
yeah. And it's always like I call Midsummer. I don't say,
but it's a French word for Titan, right? So it's all right, very good. So that's your underrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and let's be honest. I love my country, but my countrymen are not big embracers of foreign language cinema.
Yeah. And you got to do it, dude. There's so much good subtitled horror, everyone loved Parasite, just keep believing, like you can see so many other movies that good. Just, read the freaking subtitles.
Yeah. They're really not that bad.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm looking forward to your overrated.
I think The Departed's overrated. And it's not that I think The Departed's a bad movie in any way, shape, or form. I think The Departed's a totally good movie that I enjoy watching. It's a fine crime thriller movie. But I see it on lists of top 50 all time, top 100 all time. And I'm like, are we? It blows my mind to me that becomes in a director that's done so much work, that would even be a top 3 in his catalog. Let alone the ultimate one, it was what feels like it's, if you look at one of my favorite heist movies is The Killing. And so is The Departed any better than The Killing? Is The Departed any better than Inside Man? I think they're kind of all in a similar kind of, I guess, quality level. And so that's a little overrated for me.
I support you. I mean, I think sometimes I think Scorsese is obviously a great and a genius, but not everything he does is great. And I think, I don't know, I probably shouldn't say this, but he, sometimes I feel like he makes a movie for the paycheck and he has every right to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like The Departed is pretty uninspired.
Yeah, ultimately, it's kind of how I feel about it. It's I think I'll watch Jack Nicholson read a cereal box. The guy's a good actor, and I can find fun in what he does, but I just I don't get lost in the film the same way that I do even Wolf of Wall Street was one that I was just oh man, I'm lost in this. What a world, Goodfellas in a way, the way you get pulled into it,
absolutely.
So yeah. Maybe that wasn't as percolating as I built it up, but I've said that before and gotten some shit.
No, well done. All right, so The Departed's your overrated, and we wrap it up with a lesser known film that people should seek out.
Okay, I've not seen this one either, but have you heard of Spree on Hulu?
No.
Spree is incredible. And the best way I can describe it is that it has no right to be as good as it is. Because it's on the surface, it's a social media horror movie. And you're oh my God, it's so fucking cringe. And it's about this guy who's trying to live stream his murder conquest. And ultimately, he's not a very good murderer, nor is he very good at social media. And so we're just kind of watching this bumbling failure try to commit this horrific act. And it's all done with GoPros mounted in the car. It's an incredibly interesting film. I had not seen anything like it. It's got the kid who plays Steve from Stranger Things. I don't really watch that show, but I saw that first season, and so he's in that.
Yeah, actually, I saw him in something else recently, and it was like, oh, hey, that's the Stranger Things guy. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm watching Ozarks right now, and they have some knockoff version of him as one of the kids on that show.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it just looks just like him, I think.
I'm all caught up on Ozark now.
I am not. So I am 2 seasons behind, but you at home, hopefully you are.
I will say nothing. I will say nothing about Ozark besides the fact that, goddamn, that's some good acting.
What I will say about it is that whenever I watch Ozark, I pretend Laura Linney is just Laura Linney. Like, she's not her character. She's just the famous actress married to Marty. And that makes the show even more fun for me. So yeah, Spree's great. Spree's a really interesting movie. I don't want to spoil the ending. The ending's something that a lot of people try to do, and I think Spree does one of the best jobs of it.
All right. Well, I am excited to see Spree.
Yeah. Super short, super fun. I tried to talk mostly about horror in this one, clean cuts a horror thriller, and like ultimately I want you guys to be able to kind of see like the kind of horror stories that do inspire me, do speak to me. I think all these films are visually very well done. I think they're all very inventive, and they're all trying to not just show you the story, but bring you into it and have you have that reaction of like, oh God, like, are they going to? Yes, they're going to. Oh my God. And so that's fun. That's what I do. You know, that's what I look for in a movie theater.
That is a good thing to look for, and that's a good thing to aspire to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let me have you tell people how to find out more about you and your work.
Yeah. So you can always follow along on DylanJAmick.com, DYLAN. You can probably read that. I'm realizing now on the podcast, but okay. DylanJAmick.com is where I post all my kind of like portfolio stuff.
I'll squeeze it into the show notes.
Oh, appreciate it. Somewhere in there. Jeff talks to some guy who made some film. And then you can also follow me if you want to on Instagram, LOL_hashtag spelled out, a little hashtag. And got a cute cat, post some photos about movie stuff and follow along, I guess. I
love the cats. You know, I don't mean to brag, but my Instagram has quite a bit of a guinea pig on it. So
ooh, I just found my new follow after this conversation.
He is, he kicks ass, man. Chester just knows what's what. He just knows what's what.
Guinea pigs and animals.
All right. So I love it. Pets. Yeah. Mine, it's all pets and gardening. What can I say?
Yeah.
I'm very proud of my apple trees that are coming in. So anyhow, let me stop talking about my Instagram, which I actually never share, and talk about the Instagram for this podcast and the TV series born from it. That's at DIF Wins. DIF stands for Discover Indie Film. So it's DIF Wins is the social media handle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And if you want to learn more about this podcast and the TV series that was born from it, you can also go to the website, discoverindiefilm.com. I forgot previously, even though I'm reading a sheet of virtual paper that says give 5 stars, I did not ask people to give 5 stars. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or Spotify or this, that, or the other, if you can like and subscribe, if you can write a nice review, takes you a minute, maybe a minute of your life to be kind to another person. It's not a bad thing to be kind. So 5 stars.
You got to leave 5 stars. It's free. It's easy to do. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
It's easy to do.
Yeah,
and if you really want to be a righteous motherfucker, also go to Amazon.com and go to Discover Indie Film Season 5 that has Dylan's film Clean Cut in it, and give that 5 stars. You should watch it and give it 5 stars.
Do all that. Support Jeff. It's a great program. We're super excited to have the film on Discover Indie Film.
Absolutely. And I will wrap up 2 more things to mention. Dylan's film Clean Cut was at Film Invasion Los Angeles. We hold it every June. It's a great festival. We're going to be in the theater this June, which is nice. Nice to have things back how they should be. If you want to learn more, you go to filminvasionla.com, and it's at Film Invasion LA on social media. And Film Invasion does have a sister festival that we hold every November, the Sherman Oaks Film Festival. You can learn about it at ShermanOaksFF.com, and it's at Sherman Oaks FF on social media. And if you live in the Los Angeles area, and if you enjoy marijuana, cannabis, and its related chemicals, and if you like cinema, come to THC Cinema on April 20th, 4/20, at the Whitefire Theater in Sherman Oaks. We're going to have the second ever THC Cinema night. I believe it'll be a program. We're going to watch a really cool, funky, strange feature film. I think that's at 7:30. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to watch a batch of really good short films that are good to watch with THC. So anyway, that is what I had to say.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me be here. Let's talk about the film. Let's talk about other films. Keep sharing art, dudes.
Yes, thank you, Dylan. And I repeat what he said, share art. It was funny, when you were talking about theater, it did make me realize that the immediacy of theater can never be equaled. But if I see a great play, the odds of my talking anyone I know into going, taking, and making the effort to see it are so low, right? Like a play is like an individual experience, but a TV series or a movie, I can tell people, go watch this, go watch that. Then like you are the third or fourth person to mention Titan to me, and I'm like, holy shit, I really got to see it. Like, and I will get to see it. Like, it's going to happen. Whereas if you told me about an amazing play you saw, that ran in LA for a little while, I might never get to it, So it is this, the fact that cinema is recorded, not on celluloid anymore, but it is recorded and replayed, makes it shared public art. Yeah.
It's community through art. So strong, so powerful. So check out all those events and keep sharing it. Keep doing it.
All right. Thank you, Dylan.
Thanks, Jeff.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.